This is winning time. If they're going to bracket coverage, one guy on the outside and play man to man on the rest of the team. Look how open the middle is. They're bringing pressure at the linebacker position. They're green dogging really at the bottom, and then they're running up and trying to get hands on that tight end as soon as possible. So you see the middle of the field is wide open, and quite frankly, like, no slot DB in the league can cover guys that have the entire field open on the inside. So Drake May actually has two throws here. He has the sideline, he has the middle, and they are wide open. You're going to lose a couple of these times. You have to be able to capitalize. And you just see whether that's Christian Watson out there with Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs running the in. There's just some opportunities, whether they want to run the dagger or the opposite, the invert of that. In the situation here, the go and the in cut, if they're going to bring those linebackers, opportunities abound. We got a 3-by-1 and a couple plays make games. Is what I mean by that is, you'll go back and forth and trade these body blows, and every once in a while, it's like the Christian Watson touchdown last week. Those plays just pop out at seemingly nowhere. They've been built up, I think, by the offensive coordinators for a long time. But you see how close everybody is to the line of scrimmage on this team. Like, they want to stop the run, they want to pressure the quarterback. Everybody's up, and these aren't unique situations for this Texans team. They're up. I think the end score of this game was a blowout, 41 points or something like that, and they're still running the same stuff. I mean, it's just who they are. It's in their DNA. They ask a lot of this secondary. They're going to bring their mic, and then they're going to green dog or mug up their will here on the running back. They're manned up on the outside. The Patriots have a tight end attached to the left, so we got the safety down, and I can't even see. I can barely see the feet of the safety behind. So starting off the gate, they're almost 20 yards off the ball and 15 yards separated from the linebacker. They're asking a lot of that secondary to be able to cover and man for that long. And you just see on the inside route again, there's just opportunities abound um, if you can hold off, get either the quick throw, or even better yet, get great pressure, or excuse me, stop the pressure looks from the two linebackers and get your quarterback time to set his feet. This is one thing that it just drives me insane as offensive lineman. It's like, hey, I'm blocking you. If you're the left tackle, you can't just stare at the guy you're going to block. We get a gap shot here for redirecting the running back, and we see Kenny Clark doing this all the time on the Packers. Again, I think stylistically these are two really interesting teams to watch because you see a lot of the same stuff. But good Lord, Patriots, like, come on, don't stare at the guy. Good line. Henry Tao shoots the A gap here. He sniffs out run as well as any linebacker in the league. Have always liked Aziz Al-Shaair. He's a good leader for this team. He's super physical. He's vocal. He'll kind of give it as well as he can take it. But they'll shoot the A gap here. If you turn your shoulders, they're going to try to make that play, and at the very least, get the running back to have to make some sort of stop go in the backfield. Team swarms. Will Anderson leads this team. He was captain as a rookie. And when you talk about guys that just play hard, I said this on the Andy Herman show yesterday. If you watch Will Anderson, you're looking at a guy who obviously was a high draft pick because of his athleticism, but he's not what you would call a pass rush specialist. He's a football player, and he had a three-sack game last week, and he's had pressures, and he has all this success, tackles for loss, all of these things based not on what you would say a really strong bag of tricks from a pass rush standpoint. He understands leverage, he understands angles, and he plays extremely hard. I think when I made the comment that if you're Lucas Van Ness, really if you're Rashawn Gary, if you look at the way he plays, the leverage that he attacks, and the way he's trying to influence the offensive tackle pre-contact, this is the kind of guy you can study and say that there's someone that I can mirror his play and have his success, and I might be in some aspects a lot better than he is with size, speed, strength, leverage. But just the style of play makes it difficult for this team. Now watch this right defensive, and having said all that, what Danielle Hunter does, man, this is a tuck your ears in moment. Good Lord, he just takes this guard who's trying to kick him out and just absolutely mollywops him. And because he stops traffic, this is a huge car crash in the backfield. We got Will Anderson coming from the backside, making the play. Show is always presented by betonline.com. BetOnline is the world's most trusted platform and your number one source for everything sports betting. Every stat, matchup, breakdown, even live odds and spreads to bet on during games with the largest catalog of odds on everything from football and Major League Baseball playoffs, National Hockey League, National Basketball Association, and political props. I got to get on those political props, man. God, I got to get okay. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet online. The game starts here. This is the kind of effort you're going to get from this team. Got to break tendency. What do I mean by that? So they bring the wide receiver into the B gap. Obviously, they're bringing him in to dig out that safety who's come into the box. When you do that with this team, D'Amico Ryans has taught them. Matt Burke's the defensive coordinator. D'Amico Ryans really calls the plays. When you do that with this team is like, okay, well, we're selling out. We're going to bring that entire side and crash this party, right? You got two tight ends in there. Like those guys are not going to be able to hold up against everybody we're bringing. You have to show something like this and then run a play action pass out of it, run a keeper out of it, run a reverse out of it. What you can't do is try to run inside zone out of it because it will not work. They're going to bring the house. I mean, you see the running backs just going like, okay, where would you go? Absolute game wrecker there. See everybody up, one safety back. This is an odd play actually. So they rotate the running back here. And the big thing is, I think for the Packers, don't have any paper cuts. And what I mean by that is the running back shifts over, and I don't know if that was predetermined. You got to remember the Patriots, Drake May, young quarterback, they don't have the same arsenal that Jordan Love and certainly Matt LaFleur, the way he's calling plays, not the same. So this isn't like for like, I think, when you're looking at offenses versus this defense. But you don't want any paper cuts. And by that, I mean, if you have an opportunity to chip Will Anderson when he's on a heater, and I know Danielle Hunter had a sack in this game as well, but when he's on a heater, don't rotate your back over because there's certainly numbers over on the other side. You see the safety walked up on the end of the line of scrimmage just above Will Anderson. That's where the pressure could be coming from. We can have the Mike take control of the backside A gap with that linebacker, but for God's sakes, don't kill yourself by taking the free rusher off. And now you don't get the chip, and now you get the sack, possibly the sack fumble. Got Will Anderson on the right side here. You just see relentless play. And this is the thing with Jordan Love. If they're open, and he's been doing such a good job of this, just throw the football. Right now, you got two guys wide ass open. Get rid of the football. Do not let Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson are legitimate pass rush threats in this league. And I know that our tackles are going to do a great job with talking about the Green Bay Packers, but make it easy on everybody. Because these are the kind of guys that'll get to the quarterback. If you break pocket here, you're not safe. Will Anderson makes it so you're not safe. That's the kind of player he is. Danielle Hunter, familiar face, Packer villain, in out, really nice move there with the hezzy and chopping down those arms, just getting the right tackle for the New England Patriots. They've been kind of rotating there. Aquino moved back to right guard. He's a really good player. They put him out there for a while. The Patriots' right tackle is not good. I think they're worst in pass rush run rate. Some stupid statistic, but they're not where they need to be just yet. You got the sack fumble, and it's a good football team. This is gonna be a fun matchup. This will be a real fun game. Usually when I say games are going to be in the 30s, they end up being in the teens. So I have no idea. The over under, like I said, is 2.5 as of this show. But I'm excited to watch this one. Lambeau Field. Get ready. Get your popcorn. This could be a big game. CJ Stroud for me is I don't know. Patrick Mahomes is better than everybody else, and we kind of always go through that. CJ Stroud, I don't know. Joe Burrow is not having a great year this year. I think a lot of that is attributed to some other things with the Bengals. It's probably a topic for another day. But CJ, the only thing you can pick at CJ is that he likes to extend plays and hold the ball, and he can get sacked because of that. But as far as as far as arm strength, footwork, processing speed, football IQ. I mean, the kid, it's like the kid's purpose built to play quarterback. I haven't seen a talent like him in a long time. And even without Nico Collins and some of those other guys being banged up in the secondary, this is a team that can put points up on you, and they certainly love to take the ball away. So the Packers got to keep winning that turnover matchup. They're going to have opportunities in this game for sure, but that middle of the field is going to be huge. Who owns that real estate is going to win, I think, on the Packers defensive side of the football. And then certainly if they're going to play man against our receiving core, you would just think that there's going to be some plays drawn up that are going to give them a ton of trouble. You think about all the stuff in the backfield when they're playing, whether it's Melton, whether it's Jaden Reed, whoever they're putting in the backfield along with like Emmanuel Wilson, and they start doing it. When you do that, that really screws up the count. They're going to be spending a lot of time this week defensively in Houston going, how do I deal with whoever they put in the backfield? Is that by personnel? Is that by position? Like if Jaden Reed's back there, do we treat it differently than if Bo Melton? Was there a certain person that we want to put there in these defensive calls? Or are we going to trail Jaden Reed all day? How does that work? Having to spend time on all of that takes away from preparation from all the other stuff. So expect to see the playbook slightly expanded by Green Bay as far as one more wrinkle in that whole orbit motion, backfield, all of that action. Expect to see one more wrinkle there, whether it's a new screen. They did a screen, for example, where they motioned out Wilson, then they brought Reed across the center and they threw the screen on that side, or maybe it was vice versa, but they went across the center on the snap of the football and threw the screen to the side that they exited the other running back. That all of that stuff is relatively new to these defenses. It's something that they probably haven't looked at. That's why you see so much success, because they don't know how to play, they don't know how to defend it. Expect to see a lot of man beaters if they get into this man coverage. Again, with all the injuries that they have, I just don't know how they can stop the passing game for Green Bay as much as they want to sell out to stop their running game. So great matchup, going to be fun, guys. If you're enjoying this, please subscribe, rate, and review. Check us out on our Process to Perform channel. Of course, hit me up, Mike1268, with any questions before the game. I didn't want to do listener questions. Wanted to get a quick one out here on Thursday morning. But hit me up before the game if you got anything. I'll do my best to answer it. Until then, good to be an exciting game, guys. Enjoy Lambeau.